Shall we start maybe talking about Rome and your move to Rome and how you discovered encaustic in Rome, I guess?
Sure. I had been working in New York for 20 years and painting with oil paint in a gestural way. But when I came to Rome, it just seemed natural to change because it was a big change in life. And it seemed natural to make a new body of work, start in a new direction. I started to use encaustic, which means painting with wax as a medium, adding color to that. I started to do that because I wanted a softer medium that I could scrape into and alter. The wax process is slow. It's inconvenient. It's cumbersome. There's a spontaneity in the pouring because I don't know how it's going to come out. But there's a lot of planning and preparation before I get to that point where I can create the conditions that there can be some accidents that happen that are nice. The thing about encaustic is that it creates immediately a substance, a layer that's got certain thickness. All my paintings have a certain thickness of wax, and in that are forms. And one of my main techniques is to take a blade and scrape the wax away. And what I do when I'm doing that, I reveal these veins of color that are underneath. It's as if you took a piece of marble and you start to remove some of the material, the forms underneath start to change. My painting process is a process of adding and subtracting, continuously going back and forth. And the tragic thing is that once you've subtracted, you can't go backwards, and it happens that I'll take away too much, and all of a sudden I get down to someplace where I didn't want to be. This painting emerged in the month of March this year, in 2020, which of course is a dramatic moment when we had to all be isolated. What I started to do was to scrape away layers of wax, and I discovered underneath colors and textures that had been forgotten, that had been hidden. These big, dark rectangles, they look maybe like they are collage elements, but they're not that at all. When you get close to them, you see that they're areas that are scraped away, where I went clear down to the support, which is masonite. And I discovered that the lines, those white lines, were still present down there. This painting is organized like all paintings are, from right to left and from top to bottom. It's composed, but I think of it almost more as a painting that's spatially organized in and out in terms of its depth.
I was wondering how much improvisation or how much kind of intuitive your process is. And
I put the panels down on a table, and often I pour the melted liquid wax. I have sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 colors that are all ready to go. I pour them together, they mix a little bit, and within a few moments, maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes, they've mixed and they've stopped mixing. But before they've stopped, they're moving and they are interacting and forming what to me are very interesting patterns. That movement is frozen as the wax solidifies. And that frozen movement is then visible in the painting itself. So the painting will have areas that almost give the illusion of continuing to move, because that's how they were born.
I mean, your work has been discussed as also in relationship to music.
Music is the art of articulating time, and painting is the art of articulating space. But still, there is such a thing as time in painting. Painting takes some time to understand it. It doesn't take very long to understand it, but it takes a little bit of time. Within a matter of seconds, you understand the language of the painting, you understand the rules of the painting, you understand the space that the painter is proposing. And every painter proposes a very different kind of space. And we don't need that long. We maybe have 8 minutes would be a long time to look at a painting. I think that a painting should unfold slowly and give you satisfaction over a period of time. This painting in particular is all about the surface that's been disturbed and scraped and added to and complicated. So in fact, this painting is probably the most complicated painting I've ever made in my whole life.